Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan.
And I'm Adam.
And today we're watching Attack on Titan Season 3, Episode 5, or Episode 42, called Reply.
First of all, I love that our members sent me a 60-meter Titan shirt and not a 5-meter Titan shirt. Love going big.
He's the Colossal. Bertolt and him will be battling it out.
So thank you. I appreciate it. I love the shirt. I will be wearing it often. It's in the rotation.
It took me a second to figure out what it was until it said slice here on the back. At the back of the neck it says slice here. Anyway, love it. Love that shirt.
It's a good color too.
Good color.
Same color as my Haikyuu shirt.
Yeah. It'll be in a never-ending rotation. Last episode, not a ton to talk about. We were more silent observers.
It was a setup episode. We learned a little more about Historia and Reiss and the family. And I think for me the biggest thing was Hanji set up the military police to be hated by the citizenry. And I forget his name, but the head of the merchant guild in that area, Reeves, his son showed some backbone and stood up for the neighborhood. So that was good to see. Love people stepping up in big moments. I'm a fan of that.
The political intrigue continues.
I'm curious if Reply is, like, this is going to be the Scouts' reply to being banned?
Or Erwin's probably going to be murdered.
Well, yeah, they're going to try and break him out. My instinct is the reply of the Scouts to what is happening. They're going to go on the offensive instead of the defensive. But we'll see what happens. It could also be Eren. We don't know what's going to happen with that. Everybody wants to eat him. It's a tough place to be.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Yeah, this season has been moving quickly, but not. Just a lot of information without maybe the plot progressing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like we're kind of at a standstill, but just like learning.
It's going to start moving soon, I think. But
maybe today is that day, everybody. So let's check it out. Let's get started. See what they've got for us today. Season 3, Episode 5 of Attack on Titan is coming right now.
下がるのみでは何の解決にもなりません。それともこの状況を打破する何かしらの秘策があるのでしょうか。
エルヴィン、君はどうも理解していないようだが、今君がここにいるのは壁内の未来を話し合うためではないし、殺人という単純な罪を犯したせいでもない。人類憲章第6条、個々の利益を優先し、人類の存続を脅かすべからず。これに対する重大違反だ。
そう。再三にわたるエレン・イェーガーの引き渡し拒否。これは十分に人類憲章に抵触する。
エレンはウォールマリア奪還には必要な存
It's
在
like
で
a
す。
personal
それを
game.
決めるのは調査兵団ではない。エレン・イェーガーは未知の力を秘めた巨人だ。壁の内側に置くことはそれ相応のリスクを伴う。それを一兵団の団長に管理させる方がおかしいだろ
だが、君は自分の考えに固執した。そして、誘拐を装い、エレン・イェーガーを隠匿したのだ。関わったディモリーブスの口を封じてな。これはもはや反逆だ。
今や君こそが人類の脅威となっているのだよ。ピクシス司令。駐屯兵団と調査兵団は前線で命を張る者と
No, they don't.
親密な関係を築いておったようだが、
我々が調査兵団に同調すると思われるのは心外ですな。人同士の殺し合いほど愚かな話はない。この狭い人の世に一度火を放てば燃え尽くすまでそう時間はかからんでしょう。先のトロストク防衛戦においては総兵士に言い聞かせ大いに死んでもらったものです。調査兵団がその火種となるなら今のうちに消すべきでしょう。何より巨人が壁を破ってきた際人があまり残っとらんようじゃ巨人に呆れられてしまいましょうぞ。
よろしい。では協議に入る。
陛下、よろしいですな。
So just confirming, we kind of assumed this last time, is the thing that Erwin entrusted with Pixis that story that his dad told him?
I believe so, but it could be something else too. So we're not sure. You can infer, but it might be something else. Part of another plan. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't know.
Pixis is bluffing, right?
I believe so, but we don't know for sure. If he's gonna make a suggestion later on and be taken seriously, he has to distance himself from the scouts.
Yeah.
So, we'll
But
see.
they are on the same side. In secret.
We're assuming, but we don't know. Pixis has his own agenda, probably.
And have we heard anything from this king? He's always sitting there looking bored.
Yes.
Okay.
Nothing.
エルヴィン、このまま終わらせるつもりか。
では、陛下の名のもと、判決を言い渡す。エルヴィン・スミス、人類憲章第6条に違反ありと認め、死刑に処す。
Was anybody shocked?
これは即時執行される。
Immediately?
I wonder if they're gonna find out that he didn't kill the merchant like Rice.
これでいいのか、エルヴィン。
I'm still convinced that that guy is his friend from childhood that he told
お前、これ
something
で。
to.
The final gambit.
ボールローゼが突破されました。突如出現した超大型巨人および鎧の巨人によってカラネスクの扉は2つとも破壊されました。現在東区より避難する住民が押し寄せてきています。
退避経路を確保せよ。駐屯兵団前線部隊は全兵力を東区に集結させ住民をウォールシーナに誘導せよ。皆急げ。住民の避難が最優先じゃ。あ、ダメだ。ウォールシーナの扉を全て閉鎖せよ。避難民を何人たりとも入れてはならん
Is
ぞ。
this not violating Charter 6 or whatever?
それは
ウォールローデの住民を人類の半数を見殺しにするとのご判断でしょう
Isn't
か
this violating the
そ
charter?
のものが言った通り内戦が始まるだけだ。中央政府が機能しなくなる恐れもある。そうなれば終わりだ。
しかしそれはあくまで可能性の話では。
その可能性があることが重大なのだ。我々は最上位の意思決定機関であるぞ。さっさと動かぬか。くそ、まさかこのような時に壁が破られようとは。しかし不幸中の幸いだろう。力は見つかっているのだ。あとは器が受け止めるまでここで持ちこたえればいい。
そうだ。今は目先の被害に右往左往すべきではない。ウォールシーナさえ残ればどうにでもなる。
ああ、レイス教さえ戻れば。やるしかない。扉を塞ぐんだ。
待て。
待ってたら手遅れだ。
選ぶのは誰だ？誰が選ぶ？
何をしている。早く動け。王政への反逆罪となるぞ。
できません。
何？おい。
俺はウォールローゼの人間だ。扉の閉鎖は阻止させてもらう。
すまん。
私も加勢しよう。
This is the guy that let Aaron off at the beginning.
彼らの判断は意外だったかの、ザックレー総統。いや、ちっとも。
ざっくり、これは一体。
先ほどの報告は誤報です。ご安心ください。
I love it.
襲撃は確認されていません。
何の真似だ。
首謀者ならわし。
ピクシス。
中央憲兵の大半はどこかへ出払っておるようですな。それを幸いと言うべきか。
どういうことだ。
先ほど駐屯兵団と調査兵団は同調していないと申し上げましたが、一言言い忘れましたわい。あなた方にも同調していないと。わしはこのエルヴィンと同じ思いを持ちながらも、結局はあなた方政府に任せる方が人類のためになるのではという迷いがあった。
So I thought I would just
おそらくわ
test
し
you.
らよりずっと壁や巨人に詳しいでしょうからな。もしあなた方がより多くの人類を救えるのであれば、エルヴィンを処刑台に送っても良いと思っておった。当然、場合によってはわしらも首を差し出す覚悟もあった。じゃが今あなた方が答えをくれましたわい。たとえ巨人の力や成り立ちに関して無知であろうと、我々の方があなた方よりは多くの命を生かせましょう。
バカなことを。ここを制圧したからなんだという。
You're gonna throw him in the stocks, bro.
従うと思っているのか。民衆は王に貸し付くのみだぞ。地方の貴族も黙っておるまい。
どうやら理解しておられぬようですな。これはただの脅しではない。クーデターじゃ。
中央憲兵の制圧完了いたしました。
They're useless anyway.
時には王より上官に従うものでな。
The king hasn't said anything
王
yet.
であればなおのこと、我々は真の王を立てるつもりです。
まさかそこまで。こんな詐欺のような真似がまかり通ると。
Does the king
これ
care
が
about
本当に非常
anything?
時であったなら、あなた方の先ほどの判断こそ
Thank
人
you.
類憲章第6条違反。さらに偽りの王を立て政治を私したことを加えれば極刑に値するかと。
Good thing
Bye-bye.
his dad was a history teacher.
I love everything about this. You wanted something to happen? Here it is.
Nothing like a false alarm Titan breach to show for people to show their true colors.
Genius.
And all three leaders, garrison, military police, and scout regiment, were all colluding.
This is what happens when you sit in isolation and you have no feel for what's going on. Like, they just want to rule and do whatever they want, no accountability.
Well, the king still hasn't said anything. Like, who is this guy?
No, he's a puppet.
Who is this guy, though?
They probably pulled him off the street. Or you can sit in the chair, drink as much wine as you want, just don't talk. You even said, he just stands up and goes, in the name of the king.
I'm so glad that Erwin was like, well, you just violated Charter 6. I was like, when all this was happening and they're like, everybody close the walls.
Yeah.
I was like, hold up.
I really want to know what the whole charter is. I think it would be interesting. Like all the rules.
It sounds like the 10 Commandments almost.
Totally. Like what rules and laws would you put in place if your only goal was to keep humanity alive? Like how would it change society? I think that's a fascinating question.
But their goal isn't to keep humanity alive.
Well, but that's the point of the charter.
To pretend.
Well, no, these guys have clearly manipulated it and just want power. But I would imagine they wouldn't have written the charter. It would have been
I'm
done by the
aware,
founders.
but they are interpreting it in a way that serves them.
Scoundrels. I knew I liked Pixis right from the start, and now I like him even more. If I could pick one person to have a drink with on the show, it would be Pixis.
But it also, like, he's kind of got allegiance to nobody, because he's like, if you had proven that you were, like, honorable or whatever, sure, I would have been fine if Erwin died.
Erwin's gamble was that they would be...
selfish.
Yes. And he trusted Pixis would do the honorable thing. Mm-hmm. Love it.
エルヴィン、お前の勝ちだな。
This is just the beginning.
嬉しくないのか。ナイル、人類はより険しい道を歩まざるを得なくなったぞ。
They're always stalking. Oh, it was Hanji?
というわけで、クーデターは成功。王都も行政区もザックレ総統が仮押さえ中だ。今のところ、貴族たちの反乱は起きていない。
でも、リーブス会長の件は？
あれが濡れ衣だって証言は取れたからね。息子のフレーゲルが奮闘してくれてるよ。
まだわかんねえのかよ。王政の連中は俺たちを救う気なんかねえんだ。目をそらして殺されてからじゃ遅いんだよ。そうですよ。今度巨人に襲撃されたらもう何も残りませんよ。会社も家族も。その前に
Nothing like a good newsletter.
The young reporter.
それに書かれてる通り冤罪だってことや。
King
王
Fritz.
政側の圧力。フリッツ王が偽物であることまでバッチリだ。君たちについても正当防衛ってこと
You
で。
gotta love an enthusiastic young
Somebody
reporter.
not tainted by the system. They're just gonna leave you tied to the tree.
そんなバカな。
とんだ大博打だったな。
ああ。でもエルヴィンたちだけ
I
じゃない。
love that line.
一人一人の選択が世界を変えたんだ。
お前から預かった3人も死なせてしまったな。すまない。それから中央憲兵の一部、その親玉とエレン、ヒストリアはまだ別の場所にいる。早いとこ見つけねえと。
それなら手がかりがある。この戦いはそこで終わりにしよう。
So is the Titan hiding down there?
エルヴィンの働きを経て、
Erwin,
現体制の
baby.
崩壊
He's
が
the
宣
man.
言された。それは王と行政区を兵団組織が制圧した直後、彼のために用意された処刑台の上で行われた。
その通りです。
I love how this guy like stood up and thought for himself.
我々の目的は兵団組織による統治ではありません。フリッツ家に代わる真の王家から新しい王が立ち、民を導く役割を担うことになるでしょう。
それはわかりますが、
果たしてそう簡単に民衆が新しい王を受け入れるかどうか。
不安に思っている者が多いのは事実です。一体何を信じればいいのか。
人類を思えばあのまま王政に託すべきでした。ピクシス司令の言う通り、今日まで人類を巨人から生きながらえさせた術があります。人類の半数を見殺しにするようであっても、人類が絶滅するよりかはいい。エレンを手放し、仲間の命も自分の命と共に責任を放棄し、王政に託すべきだったのでしょう。人よりも。
Yeah, but you need people of integrity in those positions.
君の使命は相変わらず辛いな。死んだ方がはるかに楽に見える。しかし、だったらなぜそうしなかった？
それは
私の理由を言おうか？昔から奴らが気に食わなかったからだ。
は？
ムカつくのだよ。偉そうな奴と偉くないのに偉い奴が。思えばずっとこの日を夢見ていたのだ。つまり君らもやらなくても私がくたばる前に一丁かましてやるつもりだったのだ。
At least he's being honest.
クーデターが人類にとっていいか悪いかなどには興味がない。とした悪党だろう。しかしそれは君も同じだろう。君は死にたくなかったのだよ。私と同様、人類の命運よりも個人を優先させるほど。
自分はとんだ思い上がりをしていたようです。
君の理由は何だ？次は君が答える番だぞ。
私には夢があります。子供の頃からの夢です。
I liked Zachary, even I was worried about Zachary in season 1, but when he let Aaron go free, I had a feeling that he was like a decent guy.
Do you still think he's a decent guy?
Yes, do you?
I think he's human.
A little flawed.
If we're all honest, none of us mind when somebody we don't like gets what's coming to them. Now, if you go out of your way to do things that are harmful to everyone, like in this case, Zachary's personal vendetta against, as he called them, the pompous pigs who were leading the country, who were bad for the country, who were selfish, lines up with making a good decision, and you see them burn along the way. Win-win. But it's naive to think that we don't all fight against those motivations. You feel the way you feel, you're judged for your actions, and he didn't try and do anything until it was the proper time. And then he took a shot. You can't blame him for that.
ハンジさん、二人の居場所の手がかりって。
これから話す。エルヴィンから託されたレイス教領地の調査報告書がこれだ。中身はほとんど5年前、レイス家を襲ったある事件についてだ。
5年前？
そう、ウォールマリアが破壊された日だ。とにかく最初からかいつまんで話すと、ロッド・レイスという男は領地の主としての評判は悪くなかった。5人の子供を持ち、特に長女のフリーダは飾らない性格で領民からも好かれていたらしい。しかし5年前の夜、悲劇は起きた。世間の混乱に乗じた盗賊の襲撃によって村にある唯一の礼拝堂が焼け落ちてしまったんだ。悪いことにその夜はレイス一家が全員揃って祈りを捧げていた。そして一家の主ロッド・レイスを除く一族全員が盗賊に惨殺されてしまったんだと。そしてそれはヒストリアの母親が中央憲兵に殺される数日前の出来事。つまりロッド・レイスは家族を失った直後にヒストリアに接触を図った。この辺りに連中がヒストリアを求める理由があるのだろう。
血縁関係か。その血に種か仕掛けがあるってのか。
今はそこまではわからない。それより私が気になったのは礼拝堂が全焼したところにある。礼拝堂は石造りだ。破壊するには相当な時間と労力がいる。盗賊なら取るもん取ってさっさと逃げるべきだろう。 それにその盗賊を見たのはロッドレースただ一人。その後彼は自分の財産で礼拝堂を建て直してる。なぜだろう。もはやここに巨人の存在がなかったという方が不思議なくらいだ。これが私の早合点だとしても、こんだけ怪しければ十分。
Hanji with a deduction.
Well, Irwin led her there.
True.
So the story's made up, essentially, is what we're gathering. The bandit story.
Yeah, probably.
Because they're like, oh, Rod was the only one who saw the bandits. They were all randomly praying in the chapel by themselves.
But something did happen to his family.
Yeah, I think they all turned into Titans and ran away.
Maybe.
I don't think the bandits are real.
No, probably not. I mean, not with that level of destruction to the temple. But there has to be some reason they were uncontrollable, or they ran away, or... Like, he wouldn't search out Historia if he still had his other bloodlines.
So he must have been testing them or something for some...
Something, either they were... Again, we don't know, but maybe there's a transformation period, or happens under high stress, or something. But it would be weird that it went sideways for the whole family at the same time.
I bet he was testing for something, and Historia's the only one left.
What if one of them transformed and like ate the other ones and then
Maybe
ran?
Rod transformed and ate all the other ones to they have all their powers.
The conspiracies are flying.
That probably didn't happen.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Oh, he's Jack.
He's in the Reiss basement, or whatever it is.
A real Hannibal Lecter situation going on here.
夜が明ける頃には兵団がレース寮に送り込まれる。それまでレースは待ってはくれないだろう。
Reiss is the Titan and he's gonna eat Eren.
エレンが食われるかもしれ
Or
ない。
Historia. What do you think? I don't know. Oh my gosh.
Reiss doesn't seem to want to give up power.
巨人が食べることによってその能力が継承される。もしそれが本当だとしたら、エレンはいつどうやって巨人になり、誰を食べて能力を得たんだろう。
You gotta chip a tooth. Bite your gums.
Historia.
How did Eren become a Titan and who did he eat? Dr. Yeager was serving him Titan food as a baby.
There has to be another way that Titans
It
come
has
to
to be a bloodline component.
Yeah, a bloodline, or they know how to create Titans and they get created with random abilities sometimes if they have specific mutations, or like otherwise if there was not another way for Titans to exist, there
Like
just
how did
wouldn't
they
be.
start?
Yeah,
Period.
yeah.
Like there has to be something,
They'd
the
eventually have-
inciting Titan, the
Yeah.
original.
They
How
would
did
have
he
whittled
evolve?
their way down to nothing. Like, because as soon as one person ate like two Titans with different abilities, like
They
gone,
can't, yeah.
you would have ended up with one having all of the abilities.
Well, do we think Connie's a Titan because his mom was a Titan?
I think so.
So we're thinking there's a genetic component in addition to the inherited cannibalism.
Humanity is on the brink of extinction, and you set up noble families to save them. Like, you'd think that that would be the exact place where the most competent people would lead. The nobility system, where there's a government, you're not guaranteed to get good leaders.
Well, yeah, they just made up who they wanted anyway, so
Right.
it's not even real.
What I'm saying is I think the whole nobility thing plays into your theory of the bloodlines actually being important. Because otherwise, humanity being on the brink of extinction, you would think that they would gravitate towards a system where you have Pixis leading, or you have like the smartest people. So that's why I think that there's some kind of knowledge of the wall. Like, all of those people knew that his powers passed down. Like, there's a group of people who have either knowledge or Titan powers or something running the show. So I love this episode. I love the coup. I love that how they managed it. I love that they outmaneuvered them.
I'm just wondering what this encounter with Eren and Historia is going to be, because I feel like Historia's in the dark. So she's being set up by her dad.
Agreed. But who was the girl with the black hair?
Well, exactly. Was it Eren's mom? Was it Eren's sister that we don't know about?
I thought it was a Reiss girl.
Okay. Oh, so you think that she is the one, they're all praying and he decided that found out she was the one that was
Or maybe
strongest.
she's the one that transformed and ate everybody else or did the damage.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of saying.
Because that group of people were talking about having a Titan. Historia is probably one of them, but
I feel like she doesn't know what's going on.
no, she doesn't. She hasn't grown up in that situation. Whoa.
They better hurry up
So
because
good.
time is ticking and Eren's about to be munched on. Adam loves a coup.
Totally.
Things we've learned about Adam in our course of anime watching over the last few months. Him and George R.R. Martin are kindred spirits. Number 1. Number 2, Tolkien consulted him when writing Lord of the Rings. So did the creators of Dungeons and Dragons. Is an expert in Viking history, Norse mythology,
said that.
war, intrigue, overthrowing government. This is a modern day Renaissance man, everybody. Anyway, basically, long story short, Adam is an expert in all the types of anime we're watching. I think they're gonna save Eren, but we're gonna see how this plays out, what Historia knows, what she doesn't know, what her family's up to. They're
What
probably
she's going to
keep
do
us-
when she does know. What kind of
Yes.
decisions she's going to make.
Yes, they're gonna keep us waiting for a few episodes. So here I think it's coming next episode, probably not, but we will see. Regardless, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Were you as passionate about this coup as our man Adam is over here? Because for me, like, great, those guys were gotten rid of, but like, things picked up for me more at the end.
No character development, no heartbreak, no tears. Not Sarah's episode.
Please let us know your thoughts, and as always, we'd be so excited if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more Attack on Titan coming next week. Bye!